Another packed news programme today, as you can see. Petrol poverty. Shocking number of Brits can't afford to fuel their car regularly as average cost for a full tank rises to £75. Nearly a quarter of all of motorists spend more on fuel every month than they do taking their family out. 1 in 7 drivers put off going to the petrol station because fuel is too expensive. A full medium-sized tank of petrol will now cost £75, with diesel priced at £78 on average, but motorists can only afford to top up by just £31 at a time. This is more, and you know I've been going on about this is more than stopping you travelling around. We need to get rid of the government, get rid of Parliament, get rid of the royals. Cop out. Police slammed after watching Mini Cooper being stolen because they thought thieves were council workers. Now what you should take from this is that the cops were going to let council workers steal the car. Just let that clock into your head there. These cops, PCSOs, if it had been council workers, fine, they can steal anything they want. Why is that? Because the police and the councils have a strategic partnership, which means they won't do anything if any one of the others gets caught doing something naughty. An outraged motorist has slammed police for letting thieves steal his prized Mini Cooper after they were mistaken for council workers. The blundering officers allegedly stood by as the motor was loaded onto the back of a truck near the owner's home in Cwmcarn, South Wales. South Wales police are one of the worst, and I've had dealings with them, as you all know. My son had 3 days to live before cannabis saved him, Mum reveals. So for all those dumbasses out there that say cannabis oil doesn't cure anything, this is a mother's story about her son who it did cure and saved his life. A 14-year-old boy had just 3 days to live after battling a rare cancer which affects 1 in 7 billion people. So I'm guessing that's 1 out of the whole population of the planet, pretty much. And was planning his own funeral before cannabis saved his life. Callie Blackwell, now a cannabis campaigner, told metro.co.uk Darren Blackwell had tried every painkiller, antibiotic, anti-sickness and steroid drug when she decided to make her own illegal cannabis-based medicine. Blackwell told Metro, I couldn't bear watching Darren in so much pain from the necrosis in his infected 3 fingers. So yet another story of cannabis curing cancer. Now the government have known this for 40 years at least, and they've still allowed people to die, men, women and children. We are run by a bunch of satanic, Luciferian paedophiles, and it needs to stop. Children are breathing dirty air and parents are being left to fix it. Clean Air for Children is a new parent-led programme to tackle air pollution near schools. When will the government act too? The government will never act because they don't give a shit about anyone, including children. But, you know, if you want to be on that voters register and giving your consent, so be it. You are to blame. Simple. Brexit live. UK will pay the price of no deal as Theresa May considers long-running transition. Latest news. In other words, we ain't going anywhere. There is no Brexit. I've been banging on about this for, well, since we voted to leave, but hey, it's down there, the underlined bits. Theresa May set for showdown with backbench Brexit critics. Gathering follows dehumanising language by rebel MPs. Andrea Jenkins, yeah. May must stand aside for good of country. Queen speaks publicly on Brexit for first time. Yeah, all bullshit because there is no Brexit. Now, as you know, the council's utterly and totally corrupt, as we can see here. The leader of Nottingham's criminal cartel, and they are a mafia, an absolute criminal cartel, as anyone that's had any dealings with them will know. But this piece of shit, leader of child abuse, will apologise when there's something to apologise for. So this piece of shit thinks it's okay to have children raped in his care homes. But, you know, there's nothing to apologise for because there's nothing to apologise. Because I enjoy the rape of children. In fact, I condone it and protect paedophiles. And you know, the only type of thing that would ever protect a paedophile is another paedophile. So I strongly suspect he's one. Council leaders' view on child abuse scandal was that we will apologise when there's something to apologise for. Still pushing the shit out. The lead councillor for children in Nottingham has admitted that the City Council should have said sorry earlier than it did over child abuse, after an inquiry heard that the city's leaders' view on the matter was that we'll apologise when there's something to apologise for. Councillor David Mellon, Mellon, the council's portfolio holder for early intervention and early years, was giving evidence at the independent inquiry into child sexual abuse, ICSA, the inquiry. He told the inquiry that the council had apologised to survivors of abuse on an individual basis. That is a pack of lies. Mickey Summers has still not had an apology from that Nottingham criminal cartel paedophile unit, because they're all paedophile, they're all in it together. But the hearing was then told about a meeting on February 14th this year where Mr Mellon had presented council leader John Collins' view on the issue. In other words, we'll apologise when there's something to apologise for. The minutes said that Mellon had informed the meeting of the leader's stance regarding the City Council being asked to apologise for historic child abuse, and that stance was, we'll apologise when there's something to apologise for. So John Collins, the leader of Nottingham criminal cartel, thinks it's perfectly fine to have your children raped by his employees. That's what sort of shit we have to put up with in Nottingham. Mr Mellon told the hearing, I think I would like to say, first of all, that reading that statement and the bullet point in which it is expressed is offensive in the way that it can be read to those who have had harm whilst in our care. This was not at all the intention in this meeting. It was trying to describe the discussions that we'd had about when a public apology should be made. It was not a question of whether that would happen, it was a question of when. So what they're saying there is, oh, sorry, now you can forgive us, we can carry on abusing children. Oh, and protecting paedophiles, because John Collins, the leader, CEO Ian Currier, the head of the children things, Alice Machelska, have all attempted to cover up the paedophilia that's been going on in Nottingham's councils and children homes in Nottingham. And, well, the shit's finally coming out. They need to be in prison, every single one of them. And, oh yeah, everyone on the executive branch, who are all been covering up the paedophilia and child rape. And they've all protected the rapist of Mickey Summers every chance they can to, in fact denying he'd even worked for them. When we had it from the Police and Crime Commissioner, Paddy Tipping, that Paddy Tipping worked under Mickey Summers' rapist for both the county and city councils, but they both deny he even worked for them. That's what sort of corrupt, paedophile-run councils we've got in Nottingham. Time to drag them out and lock them up, unless you can think of something else that needs doing to these bastards, because I certainly can. Star. Cops and Dodgers, Corey Roy nicked over sex shame with Evelyn. I'll be there for you. Friends legend mocks mystery boozy Brit thief. The Ginger Whinger. Must be in Oz. President's bomb hell. Obama and Clinton skit. Now, from what I can gather, there was Obama, Clinton, Soros, and a load of others who were in the deep state that This, as far as I can see, straight off the bat, is a false flag by them to try and get you to feel sorry for them, because they all know their names are on those hidden arrest warrants that are out there, or whatever it is. This is false. This is absolute false flag. I guarantee it. Mirror. The Trick of Treats Halloween special. Meghan security panic probe. Harry wants answers after chaotic scenes. So, in other words, not only with the Americans getting bombs or whatever sent through the post, there's a scare down with the other paedophiles down in Oz at the moment. Well, that's a shock, isn't it? Except, of course, it's all planned to coincide. Always works together. Don't ever think this is separate. It's all, they've worked on this, they've decided what they're going to do, and it's all going to be done together at the same time. 1,000 new victims a week. Shocking surge in hospitals' superbug cases. Colloidal silver. Get yourself some. If you're going into hospital, take it with you. Squirt it, spray it, drink it, and you won't get any of these bugs. The Times. Nick Ross. My father fled Nazi Germany. Now I'm a German citizen. I think he was on Crime Watch, and I think he was one of those that was involved that Jill Dando was looking into. Irrelevant police forces struggle with rising crime, say MPs. Oh, well, the MPs need to cut the wages then, and then we can give the police some more wages. Do you think that's ever going to happen? Not a chance. May picks civil service chief amid Brexit crisis. PM cites emergency to promote Whitehall ally. Politeness and prudery are the new rock and roll. Don't know what the picture's about. Can't read it, the writing's too small. The Guardian. US on alert as pipe bombs sent to Trump critics. Oh, and the Clintons, of course, yeah. The untold story of Hollywood's lost star. Freezing UK tower block was cash cow for foreign owners. Theresa May has opted to open up the landlord database for inspection after the Guardian and ITN News investigation. 64 flats, 18 flags, 13 convictions. Who owned Millview Tower? Daily Fail. The bravest calendar girls ever, each lost a child and all come from Soham. Our police can't cope, warn MPs. Officer numbers down, crime up, budgets slashed, damning report warns forces becoming irrelevant. By design, by the criminal government. Outrage over TV star who shoots sheep and goats for kicks. She's a sick bitch and she wants Express. Ex-presidents targeted in US mail bomber terror attack. Don't forget, in the papers you're going to get all the, oh, it's a terror attack on the ex-presidents and all that sort of thing, because they are run by the likes of Soros and all that sort of shit. Cheers to cheers. May sees off Tory rebels yet again. Statins raise risk of diabetes. New study reveals peril of pill taken by millions. You shouldn't be taking any pills. Any pharmaceutical is bad for you, and the effects are outweighed by the side effects. Meghan whisked away in security scare. See, it's all planned, all working together. The tell lie graph. He loved that I was scared. Woman makes fresh Me Too accusation in wake of Telegraph's revelation about businessman as Theresa May pledges to act against sex case gagging orders. That means she's going to increase them because they don't want it getting out there. With their fortress of injunctions, these men feel safe to do as they please. Why on earth didn't you cause a scene? Asked my boyfriend, appalled when I told him. It seems that our laws allow rich and powerful men to pretty much do whatever they want. Yeah, that's spot on. That's why they need to be taken down. Confessions from the Liberal elite. Yet again, we're patronising people who voted for Brexit. BBC still failing to tackle shocking gender pay gap. Oh, the BBC are corrupt. Well, that's just, we know that. Down the bottom. Snoop Dogg's cookery book. Call to change law after goat huntress causes outcry. PTSD, the lasting legacy of America's war on terror. Hashtag Me Too, time running out for exec who's trying to silence his staff and the media. PM hits out at unethical use of gagging orders. But D notices are perfectly fine to protect us. Leading businessman accused of sexual harassment may be unmasked in House of Commons. MP vows to use parliamentary privilege to name him if a victim consents, as government and Labour plan crack down on the rich and powerful who buy silence. Well, that's all those MPs then, isn't it? Yeah. Anything but independent. Watching PMQs just isn't worth it. No, because they're just having a laugh. It's smoke and mirrors for the public. You know, look, oh, he's asked this, and now they're all laughing together. Oh, and it's all finished now. They're all off to the pub for some food and some beer. Oh, beer. Who am I kidding? Food and Bollinger. Caviar and Bollinger, should we say. Living with racism in the US South. Why even bother to get a gagging order? Because it shuts people up, you stupid cow. The UK's national security is at risk, really. Former presidents targeted in wave of suspected bombs sent across America. Police officers in New York yesterday after packages were sent to CNN, the Obamas and the Clintons. All in the sights, allegedly, of Trump. Two-tier Britain. Despite May's vow to fight burning injustice, key report finds the poor are stuck in cycle of poverty with little hope of escape. By design. Attack the poor, keep them down. That way they'll do as they're told when we bring in our new world order. Metro. Just Magic, our good witch guide. The sheep hunter, the horrible bitch American who gets her kick shooting animals in Scottish Isle. Sex pest boss must not be able to hide behind the law. Yeah, he will. We live for a month on free food. Who's we? May silences Tory haters. Oh, see, they're haters because they want to leave the EU, but they're haters because, yeah, you know it. Grunch meeting with backbenchers turns into a love-in. Why Ross is caught up in a British police probe. Obama and Clinton sent bombs in post. Of course, if they were real, they would have gone off and done some damage, but they weren't. It's all a false flag. Financial Times. Ownership is falling, but the car will keep on rolling. This is the plan. They don't want us having cars travelling around. They don't want that. We need to kick them out and lock them up. And The royals who think they're above the law, they won't be when the time comes for the uprising. They'll go to prison with the rest of the criminals in Parliament. Is Jair Bolsonaro a threat to Brazil's democracy? The global drive for equal rights, LGBT plus workers. Bombs target CNN, Obama and Clinton. Patisserie Valerie admits further undeclared share bonus awards. Triple bite for top executives. Shareholders not informed. FRC looks into matters.
Dennis Healy. World events do not occur by accident. They are made to happen, whether it is to do with national issues or commerce, and most of them are staged and managed by those who hold the purse strings.